Sharks forever. Go out and play without fear. Now's the time to see good football, for the Sharks are here. Time to see good football, for the Sharks are here. Up the Sharks!
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast Pty Ltd, podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, mighty Cronulla Sharks. My name is Sam Chinazzi, OG 2015, and the Sharks win against Brisbane 28 points to 16. A close win in the end, and I'm just checking on the internet streams right now, making sure we've got a bit of a slow dial up here, but that's all right, we'll get through it. Sharks win 28-16. Up into 5th place on the ladder, which is awesome. Love to hear from you guys and girls. That's for sure. Danny's saying it's slow the place. All right. Let's do it. Hang on one sec. One sec, guys. One sec. I can fix this, I reckon. Fix this. Stay with me. One. All right, let's start the stream again. Cut. That didn't happen. Danny, let me know how I'm looking now, please. Hotspot is the go. Welcome back, Sharks. Win 28-16. Am I back, Danny? You're my guy. Sharks win 28-16. Thanks, Danny. So apologies, everyone. This is what happens with technology. We're back. We're back into 5th place. Sharks win. I want to know all about it. And keep me posted on that internet, please, as well. Let's get some comments up. NRL Merseyside Reds getting in early here in the second half. Disappointed with that discipline again. Silly errors with and without the ball. Need to lock in and realize the Broncos are fighting for their season. And we did, he said, hold on for a more disciplined spell. And then more poor decisions towards the end. Tricky closed the door, thankfully. It must be better next week. That's a given. We've got the Dolphins next week. The Finns are going up, but we'll get to that along the way. Sharks win 28-16 over the Broncos at Brisbane. Look, I said any win would be good enough, and it is. We got stuff to work on, but I'm happy with the win. I'm happy to win, that's for sure. Shout out for the great defense when needed, sprinkled in all over the 80 minutes. Absolutely. Chris says, ugly game tonight, hard game to watch, up. Thank you, Chris. Scott is giving praise to Billy Burns. He had a great game. There's some really good performances out there tonight. I want to get into all of it throughout the night. It was complex. Like Nico Hines was pretty good, and then he was like kind of not good. And then Trindle couldn't trap the ball, but then he did all these amazing things. And I thought Kennedy was good, and the hookers were pretty good too. Although Shake does say, excuse me, I'm all rattled. Shake says this team is too stupid. They haven't figured out how to close out a game. Well, they closed it out tonight, my friend. I take your point. I did send out a group chat to my friends and colleagues on the show when it was 22-6 up with like 13 to go. I said it was 22-6 up last year when they came back to beat us. So I thought almost a bad jinx. Wes says Nico's goal kicking is seriously flatlining. There were two that he really should have got, and we're not going to sugarcoat it. The others were pretty difficult. He got the ones he needed in the end. But yeah, Freddie, he's here from France. He's here. He's 1-0. So over on the Instagram, hopefully you stayed with us through the internet shenanigans. B-Rad says 0 game management. Dumb passes while 3 scores up with 20 to go. Yeah, fair enough. Jay says hard to watch at times. Great to get the win and move on. Hazo Katoa, Jesse C. Very good, Jesse C. Burns all played well. Disappointed with what Beryl dished out with his small amount of game time. Okay, we'll get back to that. Hello to Rolly Pollard. We love your work. Jay said Jesse Colquhoun is really developing so much this season as a first grader. Cleve said it's going down in rugby league history as the reason for most famous 8 in a row in Queensland history. Now, Cleve's been praying for this all week, and he finally got his dream come true. So, yep, 8 in a row for the Bronx. Jay says Beryl poor 2 passes in the last 30 seconds of the first half. Error to finish was ordinary. Yeah, fair enough. I thought Hohepa was pretty good even with the injury and everything. So, a lot to talk about. Sharks win 28 points to 16. Again, apologies for the hiccup at the start of the show. I had tested everything. It was just one of those things. Dion says, great D tonight. I thought we were better and improving. I thought the D was pretty good tonight up until the comeback. Up until the comeback, I was thinking, oh, well, they've only conceded 1 try from dummy half, which I can definitely cop. But they definitely need to, as I think Shake or someone else said, they need to really close out those games. Shake does say, perfect example, Nico kicking the ball dead with 7 to go. Yep, I saw that one. He was going for the try for Katoa. Danny says, how good are the Bash brothers, Billy MFing Burns and Jesse the Man Colquhoun? They were great, outstanding. They were both really good. I really like it when Billy Burns starts. I like it when he plays 80 minutes. Troy said, Iro and Ramian were on a mission tonight. They didn't give 2 Australian centres an inch, except for the last try, of course. But I take your point, Troy. They were really good individually. Trish says, up from Cronulla. Oh, man, Cronulla must have been rocking. Hello, Trish. Hope you're well. Hello, Chris. Trainer 09 says we have to fix our discipline. If we're disciplined, we win that game a lot easier. Let's go straight there. Trainer 09. We lost the penalty count 10-5. We conceded 10 penalties to their 5. And we lost the set restarts 2-1. Jay says, I'm glad Hines got his goal kicking in order in the second half. Lockie says, I do like Nico's ball running. He ran a lot. Can I tell you for how much? We will get into all the player stuff, but Nico ran he ran the ball 10 times for about 70 meters, which is great. Jay saying, where's the flano? It's even too cold for the flano tonight, my friend, where I am. So, Danny says we had moments of stupidity tonight, but they held on to the game like they wanted it more. My big brother says Colquhoun was great. Tall Tom was good. The rest was a mixed bag. I think that's a bit harsh. I thought there were other guys who did really well. We'll get to all the individual people. Diggs 96 says Sharky's too good. Very satisfying win. Billy Burns unreal. I'm glad to hear that. Diggs 96 with a Parramatta logo in your thingy, which is cool. We like everyone, especially people who aren't Dragons. Trish says, how good was Sione tonight? He was very good. Sione with almost 200 run meters, a hat trick, which I didn't realize at the time. I don't know what I was doing. 5 tackle busts, 2 line breaks, just the 1 error. So that was early in the game. Mark says, very happy with the win. 49,000 Broncos fans and Brisbane with everything to play for. Up. Yeah, that's a good point. And I think that, like, I'm happy to get negative and happy to talk about the negatives because they were there. But there's also positives because we went to a pretty hostile environment with a team with everything on the line, coaching careers on the line, like the whole thing. And we beat them. We beat them fair and square. And I know the score was close in the end until Trindle went over, but we got them. Blair says, hey, man, what a win. It shows our new assistant coaches had impact on us, up the Sharks. Our team showed up. So Freddie, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Michalak is in town. He arrived during the week, straight to work. And I think he's got some work to do with Nico's kicking. But maybe at halftime he adjusted it. Maybe he told him a few things. So thanks, Blair. Ash says, my Sharks NPL soccer are now 4th. 8 games to go with till playoffs. Ash, you've called into the wrong show. This isn't Sharks FC. I'm kidding. Any good soccer news we'll welcome on the show, given the fact that none of us has slept for 38 hours. And then, you guys and girls complain about our coach. What about the Australian coach? Why'd you get me started, Ash? Why? Danny says, I feel we're a better team with Billy and Teague on the edges. Nickera, it's time to discuss his future. Whoa, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not right. You're not wrong. I'm open to that discussion, Danny. It'd be a good discussion. It's not really a Nickera thing, though, is it? It's a Billy Burns thing. And I think that's awesome. Diggs96 replied and said, I'm a Para fan, but got lots of Sharkies fans in the family. Well, you're always welcome here, Diggs, and appreciate you. And we'll see you later on in the year, I believe, at your stadium. Dion says, Nico ran like an extra forward. Big Tom was solid. Our backs were great tonight in front of a big crowd. Yeah, well said, Dion. Well said. Well said. Over on the Insta, we got Jay saying Wilton again did some dirty work once again. He was really good, Teague, I thought. Very intense with the physical stuff. Shake says Tom was really great tonight, starting to get back to his better form. Agreed. I thought our forwards were really good. I thought the team that he picked was good. I thought when they all, the bench came on, they did solid work. The bench's stats are not amazing, but they're solid, and you can see the impact they were making with their bodies. So I like that. Luke says, extremely physical game. We roughed it out. We looked the better team all night. Couldn't ice the moments as many times as we should have. Forwards were great. Eero was all over Staggers all night. So that's some good news from Luke. And it was a physical game. You're right. Ed says, good to win, but too many penalties. That's how the team lost to the Roosters. And the only reason we didn't lose was the effort, and the poor Broncos need to fix that BS up. Yeah, I agree. I mean, 10 penalties to 5. Like, eesh. Wes says the vital win. It puts us just outside the 4 now. We can roll the Dolphins next week. Now, there's some positivity. I'll tell you what. As everyone has said, we've got to be a bit better next week. Just under a week, 3 p.m. next Saturday at KO Stadium in Redcliffe. We're going to be better because they're a very disciplined team. They're good all over the park on both sides of the ball. So we need to amp it up from what happened tonight. Tonight was a good stepping stone, good experience. But next week, I mean, let's look at some of these stats right now for everybody. And we'll see where we need to improve against the Dolphins, as Wesley points out. So we completed at 81%. That's okay. I wouldn't mind 85 next week or more. We lost the line breaks. We lost the offloads. We made... Actually, I take that back. I'm doing a really rookie error here. We completed at 79%. So I need to see 85 next week. We won the line breaks. We won the offloads. We won the run meters. Missed tackles pretty even. We lost the penalty count 10-5, so discipline 100%. We made 10 errors, which was less than them. Kicks are about the same. We gave away 2 20-meter restarts, and we gave away 2 set restarts. So there's things to improve on there for sure. And even just things that aren't in the stats, like fifth tackle options, where to put the ball on the fifth tackle, etc. It wasn't perfect. So got to improve on all that. Absolutely. Corey says we had Bronco for dinner and it expired in October 25. Ghastly 10 says, nice win. How much work did Michalek get with the boys this week? It looked like he spent the whole week with Hines. Well, that's a good point. He was running a lot more. I think he got in maybe Tuesday, might have been his first day. I'm not sure, but they flew up on Thursday. So it wasn't a great week for sessions. They had less than more given the travel that they're doing. But it looked like he'd had a word with him. And I think even the goal kicking in the second half, he might have, corrected a few things on the run. Future dude, he has to go here, don't you? Tony Popovich and Laurie Daly in a tight battle for questionable decisions. In a more related note, it's nice of us to put a nail in the Broncos' coffin. I like that. I like that a lot. I said on the show during the week, foot to the throat. That's what we got. Tony Popovich, I think bigger issues than Laurie Daly, personally. I really do. It was unbelievable, the stuff that he pulled throughout the entire World Cup, and especially this morning. Now, Shake says, I think this is controversial. Shake says the forward pack was great, except for Cam. He was awful. And I disagree with that. I thought Cam was making some inroads. I thought he had some good touches. I thought he was physical. I thought he was going forward. His stats don't read amazing. I'll give you that. Shake 20. But I didn't think Cam was a problem tonight. I saw enough out there. Again, maybe not the sort of lock forward role play you want to see, but I thought he was okay. Getting all overcome with emotion. Mark said, I definitely love the energy that Puru brings. I think he's a safer pair of hands than Beryl. Oh, look, there's no doubt, I think, that Pep's a better player all round. Beryl has the experience. He's probably, 7 years older than him? But Pep has back row ability. He has hands, and he somehow can play hooker as well. So great stuff. I really like seeing him out there. Tim says we could be a really good team. Just need to clean up our game and get rid of Homer Simpson's syndrome, about to do something stupid. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Now, LJ Rowe, you've dropped a lot of expletives, which is fine, but I'm not going to put it up on the screen. But if you want to see what he's written in the comments, that's fine. Now, I think he's referring to people on the internet. Thank goodness I haven't looked. He said, Clown Shoes commenting at halftime can go bleep themselves. We won again. You need to just bleep off and learn how to support a team properly. Bleep off and bleep off. Now, on that sort of subject matter, like, I'm with you, but also people have the right to say what they want, do what they want, whenever they want, go for it. I'm not going to tell people what to do. I think that when you do right things in the heat of the moment for the whole world to see, it can come back to bite you, etc., etc. But I'm certainly not going to tell someone not to do it. That's none of my business. I don't really like doing it. I don't like looking at it. But I don't think that's not supporting a team. LJ Rowe, we're opening up a whole can of worms here, but I think you can write things at halftime and still support your team. Just to state my case, I'm with you, though, that we just need to sort of relax and watch the game in a sense, as in, like, hold on, let me speak. Let the game play out. But anyway, everyone do their own thing. This is the world we're living in. Wesley says our rotation was great. Fitzy got that spot on, I think. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty well coached performance tonight. Just checking my internet levels. Thank God that's okay for the moment. Corey coming in with the great save from the SharkCast. He knows what it's about. LJ Rowe, watch the language, mate. Now, Corey used to be a bit of a swearer. Corey used to be a bit of a get hot and bothered kind of guy, but we talked him around to it. We've put him through our SharkCast therapy where now he manages games a lot better. So LJ Rowe, if you want to come to the school of SharkCast, I'll invite you in any time. I say that tongue in cheek. I hope you're well. You know, I like your work, LJ Roll. So, L Joel Roll. I'm not going to get your name right. I'm so sorry. I haven't slept for 38 hours. Give me a break. Ghastly 10 says, I really like Tuku getting in today. Yes. Thought Billy was great and kicking was amazing. May as well put him as goal kicker next week with Hines' current kicking form. I'm happy to stick with Nico. I want to hear about Tuku, what you thought of him. I was hoping he'd get in, and yeah, I've just seen another comment from L. Joel Rowe. Scott says we must adopt Ben Hunt's kickoffs. Oh, let's talk about the kickoffs. I think it was mainly Trindle, and you saw it coming, and then he mucked it up. And then he almost did it again. That's what we got to work on next week. Kickoff receptions. Now, just finally, L. Joel, are you cool? Because we're just mucking around here. Hopefully you're cool. Sammy from Canberra says, I'm so proud and happy my boys got a job. They won for me. I yelled at them, well done, and she sang the song. So thanks, Sammy. Hope you're all down in Canberra. Hope you're staying warm. My God, it's cold everywhere. Matty Crosby OG says, good evening. Teague's best game. Katoa hat trick. Nicely done. We keep that fire, and we could make a top 4 if we keep that fire. 2 tough games ahead. There's a bunch of tough games ahead, I have to say. Thanks, Matty. Dan Fitz says, bit clunky and scrappy at times. Katoa's on fire. Good to see huge chooks. Overall, take the 2 points and move on. I think that's pretty well said. That's how I kind of feel. Let's go over the Instas. Now, Jay says, I'd love to see you do more post-game after the women's matches. And killing me not jumping on the other nights. Well, happy to investigate that, my friend. I was at the ground last week and I was going to do it. And I ended up just doing a recorded quick post game. But moving forward, we can have a look at that. Scheduling allowing. Schedule not always allow. I'm happy to investigate because I know that not everyone who's watching right now watches NRL Dub, but a lot of you do. So happy to investigate that. Maybe send me a DM and remind me about that one. Thank you so much. Our good mate, the historian, has joined. He'll be happy. He's a big Sharks guy. And his friend, SH Long 82, who I met at the Sharks launch, has joined. So hello to you. Hope you and your family are doing great. Willie says, not a fantastic game technically, but great to see us win from out-efforting a team. Out-efforting a team. I don't think that's a real thing, but I appreciate what you're saying. Our effort was a lot better. For someone who hasn't slept, I must have had too much coffee or something. Shake said, Cam as a whole is awful. He's too slow, and him being a link man is terrible. He should play prop and never pass the ball again. Okay, so you got a problem with the passing. Yeah, I don't think as a whole. I disagree with you, is I guess what I'm going to say. So I'm happy for you to have you say, but I disagree on that point. I thought tonight he was okay. Yeah, my brother's saying SharkCast After Dark. This is kind of what we do. Have a lot of fun doing it. Just got to get that internet right, Davey. Boy, oh boy. Boy, I'm checking my levels. We're all okay now. Shaky start to the game for the SharkCast crew. Sean says, what I liked was the aggression and the intensity. Build on that, we might have a season that's better than our previous ones. But I guess it's easy to do that against Brisbane and a lot harder to do it against the Roosters and Penrith. Yeah, Yeah, fair point, but I agree. I'd like that. Jack Jones says up, up. Adam says, I'll take that win. I'm going to bed. Are you going to watch SharkCast in bed? I know many people do. Shake says, well, I'm going to skip forward to, I apologize, Jolie. I'm just looking at the headline and it says El Joel Raw. So, Jolie, I'll try and remember that, my friend. I'll try and remember that. I hope you're doing okay, sir. Shake says, I can't stand fans saying support the team no matter what. And I agree that statement doesn't need to be said, Shake 20. I agree. It's none of my business, but I agree with you. Loosh from Melbourne. Here's some craziness entering the picture. Loosh from Melbourne. The Coltrane and Billy Burns were immense. Trindle is a god. What a game. Trindle was really good. Let's look at the halves. Nico Hines, 4 goals. Ran for 70 meters, 3 tackle busts, 2 try assists for Nico Hines, which is more than anyone else in the game. So Nico had a good game. Trindle scored a very timely try. Line break assist, try assist, so he did pretty good too. And I thought Will Kennedy was pretty safe out the back. Some nice touches. So pretty happy with that spine, especially when Blakey comes back. Name not important says about time Katoa stood up. We need to lift a lot more. The Dolphins will be a worry, but we can get them. I agree with that last statement. They are a worry, but I do think we can get them if we turn up and play a little better than today. Today was a good step. Lush says, I was nervous. We have a horrible record against Origin-affected teams during Origin when we go in favourites. Is that true? Or is that something you think is true? But we came through. I'm sitting here with the boys in Melbourne planning our trip for Sydney for round 27. I will see you there, my friend. I'm going to be there. I know it surprises you, but I'm going to be there for the Storm game at Cronulla, Old Boys Day, Premiership Reunion Day. And don't forget, whoever wins that competition with the Premiership rings, I'm your +1. That's the rule. Robin says, some fabulous moments. Awesome. Thank you. 3-2-1s from Danny, Billy Burns, Jesse Colhoun, and Nico Hines. Cool. Thank you. Ghastly 10 says, loved the Heroes battle with Stags. He was really up for it. One of my least favorite players, slamming to see him humbled by Hero. He took it pretty well, I thought, Stags. He was pretty humble in defeat. And yes, Hero was mostly really, really good tonight. All right, Daniel says, if we played anyone else tonight, we would have lost. I'm happy with the win, but terrible performance. And I respect that opinion. I disagree. I don't think it was a terrible performance. I thought we were the better team. I thought we could have played better. There were things we could have done a bit smarter. But I thought we physically played well. The forwards played well. The spine was good. I thought the outside backs were terrific. I mean, they all got over 100 meters. Katoa got almost 200. Hero had 150. Mulatalo 140. And Kennedy, Katoa, Ramian all had multiple line breaks. I don't know. I thought, I disagree with terrible performance. Happy to put it up there, but disagree. Danny says, we all support the Sharks. Emotions do get involved, and we are frustrated. Absolutely. But I can bet we all love the Sharks regardless. Some of them want them to be better. Yeah, well said, man. And it's been well documented. People who watch regularly, Danny is someone who jumps online and has his emotions for everyone to see. And that's his life, man. He's allowed to do it, and there should be no apologies about it. We don't all fly that way, and that's cool. So Danny's right. Like we all support in our own way, and I think that, and this isn't a shot at Jolie, but for people who just say support the team and whatever, it's like, well, you can support the team and be critical. Like if we lost tonight, I would have been a lot more critical than what I am right now. Jack Jones is round 27. Yep, we'll see you there. Chris said he won't get the raps, but tall Tom Haleston was very good tonight. I'm happy to give him the raps here, Chris. I thought he was good too. He's been chugging along nicely post-injury. Where is he? Hazo. Yeah. 16 runs, 140 meters, some tackle busts, 25 tackles, 1 miss. It's a good effort, and we need it. And you know, maybe he's putting the foot down for next year, saying, I want to be starting prop, and maybe Colquhoun goes to lock. I don't know. But he was good. Susan says, so happy for our little Tongan fisherman. Great to see. And another nail in the Broncos coffin. Up. That's from Susan. Tongan fisherman's really good tonight. He was really good. He was really, really, really good. Let's go through what happened in the game. I made a few notes. Just a reminder. Just the key moments. 10th minute, Billy Burns with the tackle turnover, and Katoa got that try, which was great early on. Penalty goal for Nico takes it to 6-0. 23rd minute, Nico with a chip and chase. Katoa with a great attempt there to put it down. He did. Nico missing the goal, 10-0. They scored a dummy half try in the 33rd minute, which is whatever, not great, but whatever. What can you do? However, Puru with a great tackle, but he was injured. Nico missed a penalty goal before half time, hit the post. 56th minute, Trindle with a beautiful cutout pass to Katoa, 14-6 up. Nico gets the goal, 16-6. The first of many muck-ups from kickoff receptions, mainly by Trindle, who had a great game, I have to point out. Then Katoa with a great line break kick return around the 60th minute. Then Hines to Will. Billy Burns decoy, and Will scores a try. Nico gets the goal, up 22-6. Up 22-6 last year as well, and lost the game, so it was a weird scoreline for us. Trindle almost mucks up the kickoff again. They score a try from a grubber in the 68th minute under the post, 22-12. Trindle almost kills a bloke in defense with a tackle turnover in the 70th minute. No one's mentioned that yet. Broncos score a try down our left. Iro and Ronnie kind of responsible there. It's 22-16. We're all getting a bit nervous. And with 3 minutes to go, Trindle with a long-range try from a turnover. And we win 28-16. So that's how the game went down, in case you missed any of it. Blake Brayley for life says, random question, but who wins, a team of Nicos or a team of Trindles? We've been through that one before, actually, and I think both teams kind of win. But tonight, they're both pretty influential tonight. So I'd love to hear other people's opinions. I think a lot of people do lean towards Trindle, given he's younger and probably had, I guess, more success in the shorter time he's played, but I thought they were both pretty good. Okay, so name not importance is time to start running forwards towards, time to make a run towards the semis. Hope our Origin stars are all fit. We miss Bradley tonight, and hopefully their Origin players are all rested next week. Yeah, hopefully. NRL Merseyside Red said, great to see Sione dust off that first error with the line open to have a cracking game. Yeah, that was an unusual way to start the game, in that it didn't look like it was going to be a happy night, but it was, thankfully. Jason says, only 22 missed tackles for us. That's a reflection of how good our defense was. We're normally always in the high 40s. It's been getting better over the weeks, Jason. But it's a great point you make, and thank you for making it. And yeah, I thought up until the comeback, we were pretty good. As I said, dummy half try, whatever. Shake says the biggest problem with this team is errors and penalties, which are fixable. We've got all the ingredients, just got to stop being dumb. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a tiny bit harsh, but I know where you're going there. I do. Nathan Says the Melbourne-based Sharks fans are heading up for round 27. Can't wait to be in the Shire and taking home a win. Well, we can't wait to have you here, my friend. So make sure we all meet up. We'll arrange that, obviously. So have your people get in touch with our people and we'll have a bit of a get together. We'll get the Shark Cage people involved and anyone else is welcome, of course. And we'll do a pre-game somewhere and hopefully a post-game. And let's do it, my friend. Can't wait. Ronaldo has been very mature tonight. A mature and solid game. I thought the same thing, Danny. Thank you. I thought the same thing. I thought he had a really direct and just mostly error-free, mature game. Like there wasn't any niggle at all. Like it was just good, hard footy. Maddie pointed out that there was a small-time Shark snooze, which there was. Wes says, great to see Tuku get a run. He's been in great form in the lower grades. The man with the greatest name in the world, Grunge Meister Fuzz, said, felt like an ugly win. First half was not great. Just glad the Broncos were so much worse against the Dolphins. Got to fix the errors, penalties, completions, and nail the penalty goals. Yeah, you're right with all that. You're right with all that. So it's going to be a tough one against the Dolphins. And I can't wait for it. I mean, we're going to hear that all week. It's going to be a good test for us. So just doing a bit of admin on the fly. If you're watching, if you're listening. Sharks win 28-16 and up to 5th place for the moment. Lush says the boot from Nico was disappointing. Should have been 30 plus. But he was genuinely everywhere and for the most part effective. Love seeing him take on the line. What I loved about the way he ran today, Lush, was sometimes he does it and it's almost in slow motion, but today there was an energy about it and a physicality, and I really like that. There were a couple of disappointing kicks, but I don't want to labor on it too much. In the end, it didn't cost us anything, and he can do better. We know that. It's kind of rare for him, and I think that he'll be down, Monday morning probably with Freddie from France practicing his kicking and just nailing him. So I'm not too concerned about that. I'm not too concerned. Jason said, we put that up already. Thanks, Jason, about the tackles. Discipline was atrocious, but defense was wonderful. Let me know, Jason, if you thought the defense was wonderful in the comeback, because I give them like an A- up until the comeback with the defense, and then it was a bit patchy. Brad answers the question and says a team of Braden Trindles every day of the week. Malcolm says, and welcome to the show, Malcolm, not sure how you can whatever when mentioning the Broncos dummy half barge over. They'd not like scoring before that. They let them get their tails up. I'm just saying, Malcolm, that I'm sure you played the game. Like sometimes it's hard to stop a dummy half try. It's like the simplest move in the world. You know what's coming. The guy gets down low. It's hard, man. That's all I'm saying. And it's not like a structural wall breaking down in the line of defense. It's a guy or two not being able to stop a guy from a meter out. That's my only point. The whatever thing is my slang. I apologize. That's how I talk. I know what you're saying, and I hope you maybe have more of an idea what I'm saying. If I'm conceding any tries if I'm conceding no tries and there's a dummy half try and then no more, I'm not worried. That's just me. I'm not worried. If I'm conceding 3 a game, I'm worried. Buckwit says fairly clunky in attack. Thank goodness for Tricky. Yeah, he was really good. Really good. Our friends over on the Insta. All right. Jay says, any word on the Indigenous jersey when it's coming out? I don't have any word on that. Unlike last time when I lied to you about it. Whenever Indigenous round is, it'll be a bit before that, I reckon. As soon as we're allowed to tell you, as soon as I know, I honestly don't know. Nick said, I thought Tricky was a bit all over the place until the last 25. Then he stepped up with that pass to Kennedy. I mean, some of the kicks on the fifth tackle weren't amazing, and some were. Like, it was just, I think you're right. I think the whole performance was a little bit all over the place, but the good stuff outweighed the bad stuff. And we fought a really desperate team, and sometimes when you fight desperate teams, they bring you down to their level. I don't think they necessarily did tonight. I think we were our own worst enemy, and that's not a bad place to be in. Jay said it was good to see Nico running more. Hopefully our spine stays fit and gets a good run of games together. Chris says, evening, Sam, late to the party tonight. All I'll say is it's always good to leave Suncorp with 2 points onto the Dolphins. Yeah, fair enough. I appreciate that. I'm glad you missed the start of the show, Chris. The first 3 minutes, there was no anything except for fuzziness and nothing, and we fixed it up, thank God. But it was a shaky start to the start of the SharkCast, as Luke Lewis calls it. Hello to Dana. Hello. Sharks win 28-16, up to 5th place in the ladder. Dolphins next week. Let's look at some of these individual performances. Let's talk about that. Thought Will Kennedy was pretty good. Oh, Stephen's just joined. Hello, Stephen. And hope you're doing well. And again, you're so glad you missed the start of the show. 3 minutes and nothing. Technology was not good. But we're good now. I think Will Kennedy with a great game. And he ran for over 100 meters. He only had one error. And he had a line break as well and a try in that line break. Sione Katoa with a hat trick. Almost 200 run meters. 2 line breaks. Just the one error at the start of the game. So a really cool game from Katoa. And it was noticeable when he made that kick return break that he was a bit slow. Like, we know he's not the fastest winger in the world. So I would flip that negativity about him being slow with that line break kick return into it was really well executed and something really, really needed at the time. So he broke the game for us. So there's ways of turning some negativity into positivity. Stephen says, has Will re-signed yet? He deserves a deal. I think that's tongue-in-cheek. If it's not tongue-in-cheek, he signed for 1 more year officially. Not sure he's definitely signed for 1 year, in case you didn't know that. I thought Raymond was good. Ran direct. Loved it. Over 100 meters. And some really important defense. I thought Iro was mainly really, really good. He had a bit of a blemish with the last try with Ronaldo, but I'm happy to forgive that. And really dominated his opponent, as it was well documented by the Fox crew, and ran for about 150 meters as well. Really good effort. Mulatalo was great, as I think Danny pointed out just before. Real mature game, considering where he came from in the Roosters game. It was what we needed, and he was really good. First half, I love the short passes, going to the width, short passes, but still running very straight and direct. They weren't going side to side too much, and he was a part of that. Trindle and Hines, we've discussed. I mean, I thought they both had really good moments. I think Nico had a couple of, poor passes. He's a couple of those kicks we already talked about, the goal kicks. And I thought Trindle, when we needed him, he was clutch. The tackle turnover, the try, like he was really good. But again, both guys can improve on that, which is a good thing. Hazelton was really strong, 140 meters, 1 miss from 23 tackles, some big minutes for him. Hohepa, a really tough game. He went off the game with a concussion test, but came back on. Important to note that he injured himself making the tackle turnover. So that was very brave. And overall, we look really good with Hohepa in the team. So hopefully he can stick around in some way or shape. Love to hear your thoughts on that. We do shows all throughout the week. If this is the first time you're tuning in for whatever reason, we do SharkCast a lot of the days of the week, and you can get your opinion heard via SharkCast sharkcast@gmail.com, or you can leave us a message on our website, sharkcast.com.au, or you can DM us on all the socials. Make sure you give us a follow, a like everywhere, share everything around. You know the drill. It's very much appreciated. Jesse Colquhoun was in beast mode, 120 meters, 38 tackles, 1 miss. I believe he topped the tackle count. So well done to Jesse. And some big minutes, it looked like. Fantastic player, getting the raps from everyone like he deserves. Billy Burns was immense. Probably his big numbers here is in defense, but he also had a try assist, a line break assist, and very physical and all over the park. He had a kick in general play, which was probably not for the best, but he had it. And great game from Billy Burns. Teague Wilton was awesome. Physical, smashing people, a lot of defense. Cam's come under fire throughout the show. I thought he was solid. The stats are not amazing, but the effort's there. I thought he was going forward. And I think sometimes we need a guy like him in the team when we're missing a Fanua Blake, when we're missing a Blake Brayley in the middle, when we're missing a Britton Nicker, experienced rep players. I think you need a Cam McInnes there to hold the ship, and I thought that's what he did. Beryl, not involved much. Oregon Kafusi, again, stats aren't amazing, but dominant performance, some offloads, and big body out there with Talakai at the same time. Talakai was hurting a few people. He was pretty good. Good to see him out there. And big Tuku Haitapua, probably the star of the bench. And he ran for almost 50 meters in the time he was on. Didn't miss a tackle, didn't make an error, did everything right. And I hope he gets more game time because I really like what he does. Malcolm has this message for Stephen. 1 year. Yep. Thank you, Malcolm. Paul says, the back five are outstanding. Great to see Nico ball running. Billy, Tom, and Jesse very solid. Big Siffer so good off the bench. You're wondering if Ramian will be off for a week for the penalty. I think it's Ramian you're referring to. I'm not sure. We'll find out that tomorrow morning about 10 o'clock. So stay tuned to our socials if we can jump on in time, or otherwise it'll be online from about 10 o'clock tomorrow. But thanks, Paul. Appreciate all that. I agree with all that. Danny thinks that if Brayley plays tonight, he straightens the attack and we win by 30. That'd be good. I think you're right. I think we were missing that. I think Hohepa sort of tried, but he's a very different player, obviously. He's having a little drink. Did people get up and watch the Socceroos? I'm imagining you all did, right? If you were able to. So, Sharks win up to 5th place. How long can we stay there for? We got the Dolphins next week at Redcliffe, 3 p.m. on a Saturday. It's going to be a good game. Sharks will be back home on Sunday, and they'd probably follow a very similar path to this week. They'd probably go up on the Thursday, captain's run Friday, play Saturday. It's a 3 o'clock game. They'll probably come home that night. Might be a tight turnaround post-game Dolphins, because then they have the Knights on a Friday early game. So it's all a bit sort of squashy at this point of the season. But every game counts, and that's why I'm super happy about tonight that we won the game. It was important. If we lost tonight, you just keep drifting back and back and back. You don't want to be doing that. That's for sure. I mean, we're not here to talk about Brisbane, but I thought they were strong in what they did, but it wasn't good enough. The errors in the first half on our line were killing them. Okay, so Lush is just saying that, talk about football, soccer, which is fine. What on earth is Socceroo? What is that? There's only one team. It's the greatest sporting team in the history of the world, baby. Hey, we're here to talk about that. Oh, good, Lushi. Thanks for putting me in my place. Wesley's watching the Fitzer Pressy. He's happy overall at the moment. Yeah, I think that there's a lot to like. I'm pretty sure he'd just be happy to win first and foremost. Then you work out what you want to change and what you don't like. He wouldn't have liked the comeback because the comeback was spoken about based on last year. And everyone remembers last year that was the line of the sand where it changed our season. And then today it was the same scoreline. Thank goodness all their players weren't playing and they also ran out of time. But it was the same scenario. And we could have bottled it and we didn't. I think that's a positive. I want to say thanks to everyone who tuned into the NRLW content during the week. Unfortunately, it wasn't a great result. It wasn't even a great performance. We'll see what happens against Brisbane on Thursday night. Brisbane had a big win today, as expected, and they're going to be all guns blazing Thursday night. So we want to hope that the NRLW team improves out of sight. Shake 20 says, you think your Vikings are going to go all right this year? Oh, man, I can only hope, right? 1 year they got to get it right. Won't labor on it too much, Shake 20, but I think they'll be more wins than people think. And I think that Kyler Murray can get a job done under our coach, but we'll wait and see on that one. And I hope that JJ sticks around and fights for his spot. Luce says Pepsi Phil Brooks. Phil Brooks would be happy with your beverage choice. And you can go Google who Phil Brooks is if you don't know Phil Brooks. But there you go. Sharks win 28-16. Let me know your thoughts. I know you already have, and I love everyone for it. But if you have any more thoughts, let me know. I thought it was a solid outing. I thought that a lot of the guys played really well. I thought that for most of the game, our defense was good. The penalties, the discipline, it needs to be fixed up. I don't know how you do it. I mean, you saw the penalty towards the end. It was right at the end of the game for the crusher thing. And it's like, that is just circumstance. I think we take that one off the list. And so it's not 10 penalties, it's just 9. Future Dude says, hopefully Bradley gets decent minutes on a Wednesday. Otherwise, Daly has wasted some of our talent. I think he will. If they want to win that game, we're going to need Blake Bradley out there. I think at this point, we're just praying to whatever we pray to, that Brayley, Fanua Blake, and Brittany can get through it unscathed, mentally and physically. And then they're right to play for us on Saturday. And I think I'd be correct in saying they'll stay in Brisbane, those guys, because the game's in Brisbane on Wednesday. Then we're in Redcliffe on Saturday. And I think the team would fly up on the Thursday. So I think that, yeah, they'll stay up there. So they'll be not moving around too much, which is good. It's positive. Jack says, up, punker. There you go. That's who Phil Brooks is. But yeah, overall, I love the back five tonight. I love it when we run direct. Even Katoa didn't do too many bouncy rounds. I mean, he did a little bit, but he still ran direct. And I love that about our team. And when we get going forward from the back five, then the rest of the boys can do the job. The halves look decent tonight because the forwards did their job. The halves look decent tonight because they got us into positions where we could do something. And I really like that. I like the kick chase. I thought the kick pressure was good. I thought there were a lot of the little things were actually really good that no one's talking about. It was more the discipline. Absolutely. Completely agree with that. Tell me how you fix that. How do you fix the discipline? How do you go from being 10 penalties to 3? Tell me how you do it. Because I don't know how to shut it off personally. I'm not saying they can't. I don't know how last year we were the least penalized, and then this year we're the second most. I don't get it. Tim said, Billy Burns is our best second rower. I love his aggression and attitude. Mind-blowing he's gone from a fringe player to an elite NRL standard. I agree with you that it's surprising where he came from and where he is now. And I think that there's a few things you gotta I guess, give credit to, and that is him himself, obviously, first and foremost. But I think, secondly, the coaches, in particular, the main coach. And I think the system he plays in, the team he plays in, a very solid team. I understand we're not premiership winners under Craig Fitzgibbon, but it's a very solid system that he has. So Billy just comes in. He doesn't have to think too much. He just has a role, and his role is what he does. They want him to bring that aggression. They want him to bring the never say die in the tackles, both tackling and being tackled, in the offloads, in the trying to score tries. He's just got this aggression and this go forward that a lot of the other guys don't sort of have on display 24/7. So he gets to do just his natural game. And I think maybe at the Dragons and at Penrith, that wasn't, I don't know, what they needed or what was tolerated or whatever. But here he just comes in and he just plays his natural game, and he's having fun. He's bouncing around. I know that off the field he's part of the crew. He's very, very well loved, very popular figure, and he's done really well because it's universally known that when we signed him, it was a bit of a, we've signed a Newtown Jet, So he's proved everyone wrong, and bless him. It's been good to watch. Matt says, thanks for doing the show. No worries. Big Billy Burns, what a good game, and he stepped up across the past 2 years. Nico, the Wet Mermaid, very good first half. Nice to see him running in the line. Big Bald Tom, also great. Second half, we got away with it. Have a good evening. Up. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your kind words. I think that Billy was terrific, as we said, even just a minute ago. I think that the Wet Mermaid, as you call Nico, was good in the first half, and I thought he had moments in the second half too. I think those two kicks for goal kind of put a bit of negativity around his overall performance. I thought his overall performance was like almost like an 8 out of 10, which is pretty good. And yeah, I thought Tom Hailson was really strong, really strong. Shake says Billy has a knack of dragging players back into tackles. Very Matt Pryor. Yeah, I agree, and that's kind of what I was getting at as well with describing how he plays. Like, just he's a handful, right? He's a handful. He's got attacking skills. He can defend. He kicked the ball today in general play, which he shouldn't have had to have, but he did. He's a bit of a cool character, and I hope we keep him. Like, he's not that old, I don't think. And I think that, the money he's on is certainly not breaking the bank. And from a Moneyball point of view, he's the kind of guy you want to have in your forward pack when you have some other guys who are on bigger money. But above all, his attitude is just awesome. He just loves playing footy. He loves getting dirty, and you need those guys in your team. And I think that he forced Fitz's hand on the run home last year. It was only about a year ago where he really cemented his spot. And I mean, him and Britton are back and forth with whose spot it is. Britton's had a pretty good Origin series, so that'll help him a lot. But I think, as Danny, might have said, we got to have the conversation, and Britt's on a lot more money than Billy. But then the coach would probably turn around and say, or he could turn around and say, I like having depth in that position, and we've certainly got it, which is awesome. Yeah, Shaky resigned this year for 1 year. So I believe is it 1 year or 2? I thought it was 1 year. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 2 years. Either way, I just hope he just sticks around for a while, so that's more to my point. Sharkies win 28-16. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Dolphins next week. Knights after that. It's not an easy run home, but that's okay. Whatever. They're all hard games. Even the Dastly Dragons had a win today. So nothing's easy in this comp this year. It's a real doozy. Shake says, I think Billy would be just as good a middle forward. The aggression would suit it if Britain stayed on the edge. I agree with you. I do. And he has played that role. I don't know if he's necessarily come on to play in the middle. Maybe he has, but I know through injury and that kind of thing, they've shifted him to the middle from time to time throughout the last couple of years. So I agree with you. I mean, his body is slightly smaller for a prop, but he's tough. It's almost like in that Talakai scheme of things where you look at him and go, well, I'm not sure, but you know he wouldn't let you down. I think Billy's the same. He does have that Matt Pryor thing about him, although a smaller body to Matt Pryor. But yeah, I just think they like having him in the 17. He is versatile. You know, you could even, and I'm not saying we should, but if it was last chance saloon, last man up, you could shift him to the centers. I think he's even done that for a game or two for a few moments, played center. So very versatile player and just having a really good couple of years at the Sharks, that's for sure. Sharks win, 28-16. Shake says, man, I love Matt Pryor. He was so fun to watch. I agree with you, and it was the exact same scenario, even though he'd won a premiership. He came to the Sharks, for those who don't know, with a bit of, not ridicule, but a bit of non-excitement. We saw Matt Pryor, started out as a center at the Dragons, moved to potentially back row then prop, won a comp there. I don't know if he played rep footy before he was with us, but just a very underrated player, but to the point where he wasn't rated. And he came to the Sharks under Flano, and Flano was frothing at the mouth to get him. And it was still a slow build, to be fair. It was a slow build. But when we needed a breakout year from all of our players, he certainly had it, and he was unbelievable. And from that moment on, after the premiership window as well, after the premiership win, he was still terrific. And I've told this story many times, but at the 2016 Players Awards end of year, he and Fafita, I think they won a joint award for something, and they were both on stage, and Fafita was in tears saying how Matt Pryor was his inspiration and how Matt Pryor had guided him to do all this success, and without Matt Pryor, I wouldn't have scored that try. And the whole auditorium was just like in tears going, we love Matt Pryor too. So very underrated, probably until that premiership year. And of course, games like the Canberra game, there's a million games he played that year for us, but Matt Pryor was awesome. I've said this year, I think we're missing a Matt Pryor to an Andrew Fafita. So if Fanua Blake's kind of in that Fafita mold, we're missing a Matt Pryor. So could be Billy Burns. Who knows? Who knows? It could be that way to go. All right. Sharks win 28-16. We can all breathe a sigh of relief. How are you feeling throughout the game? I know that we got a bit of a chat group going, and they just hammer me, the boys, in the text, and I try and respond every now and then, but they hammer me and they know it. They hammer themselves. And one of the boys said they were really, really doing it tough watching tonight's game, but I didn't really feel that way. I thought right at the end, 6 points is a bit close, but I didn't think we were going to lose that game. So I did it fairly easily tonight, which is always the best way to watch the Sharks. I wouldn't say it was a pleasant, curse-free stream of emotions from me throughout the game, but I didn't feel too under the pump watching that game. But other people did. So let us know your thoughts. We're going to be here throughout the week. Shake says, never thought we were going to lose it, but not a great watch. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair, man. I'm in a similar mold, although I guess when I'm watching the game and we do things like tackle turnovers or, if we get a penalty, I always try and put a spin on that and go, okay, things are looking better. Let's keep going. So maybe that's why I did it a bit easy. I feel like I'm talking a lot tonight. No one's called in. That's completely fair. It's like 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, 10:30 on a Saturday night. Where else would you rather be? Is it Saturday night? Yeah, it is. Sharks win 28-16. It's fun, man. This club is fun for me. I just love all the activity. We got 2 games a week now. We've got amazing players who just make us tear our hair out, but they do great things as well. And I remember what it's like to have a team where they're not, you don't have, you're just pushing to make the 8 or whatever. It's like, I think this team's better than that. They're going to have to go on a bit of a run to prove that. But I'm enjoying this Fitzgibbon era of mostly successful football. I know it's frustrating because they should be doing a lot better. I get that. I do get that. But I love the fact that we can come on here after a win against the Broncos at Suncorp. That doesn't happen that much. I think, what were the stats? We'd won 20 of the 60 games or something. I don't know. But Broncos, for us, have been a struggle historically. Ed says, as to the feelings when Nico kicked on the short side for a 7-tackle set into a penalty, then under the post, they scored. Not so fun. I completely appreciate that. And I was with you in that moment. I was with you in that moment, Ed. Thank you for reminding me of it. I think the penalties are worse than the 7-tackle set, because in theory, you should be able to defend a 7-tackle set. I'm not sticking up for the 7-tackle set. I'm just saying that shouldn't be the be all and end all of a play. The penalties, the tries, not so good in that order, But yeah, I'm with you. It did look a little bit like, oh, they're coming back, and this is the win they have to have. I get the storyline side of things. You can hear my colleagues at Fox sort of talking up a little bit. Here comes the storyline. But no, the Sharks held tough. Some individual brilliance by Trindle and a few other guys really got us home, and that's all that was needed. And we march on to the Dolphins. We march on. It's going to be a tough one, but we like these games. We like the challenges. I think it's winnable. It's a nice little boutique stadium up there. I know there's going to be the majority of fans there will be Dolphins fans compared to today. I think there were a bunch of Sharks fans there. I know it's a very hard ticket to get at Redcliffe. Thankfully, there are some Sharks going up, which is awesome. But it's going to be overall Dolphins fans. I don't think it's going to be hostile necessarily, although it is Queensland. I'm just kidding to our Queenslanders. But a big game. And they're all big, I reckon, from here on in. So let's go get it. Looking forward to it already. Name not important says if we can get a win next week, I can't see us losing up to the semis. This may be the run we need to have. Well, this could be the end of the show right there. You can't see us losing if we win next week. Oh, you're going to make me get the draw, aren't you? We got the Knights at home. And Knights at home is winnable. But if Knights are fully fit, I need our team to be really on for it, because they can score some points, the Knights. They can. What's going on here? Why can't I get the draw happening? Maybe I'll do it on here. But I like the enthusiasm. Name not important. Name is important. What's your name? NRL. Draw. Sharks. Here we go. They'll run home. I know you all know it anyway. Dolphins away. Knights at home. Manly away. Sunday afternoon. Which we can do. Brookie, we can do. Souths at home. I like that one. A Sunday Arvo. Souths at home. I like that. Dragons away to Cogra. I like that. Raiders at home on a Saturday. I like that. Titans away at Titans on a Sunday Arvo. I mean, that's doable. Eels away on a Sunday Arvo. Doable. Storm at home. Name not important. What kind of genius are you? Let's go one game at a time. I can't play this game, because what happens if we win every game? That means we're top 4, aren't we? That means we're going pretty high. Home semi-final, anyone? Ocean Protect Stadium, home semi-final. What will the scribes say then? Did I see that the West Tigers want to have a home final at Leichhardt? Well, this was before the Dragons game. In all seriousness, they were talking about having a home final at Leichhardt. Having a home final at Leichhardt, I reckon we can head down south to Woolooware, don't you reckon? Hey. Danny says we are winning the whole damn thing. That'd be nice. We would have a great party, my friends. I promise you after that. when it happens, whether it's this year or it's next year. The great thing is we're in it. In all seriousness, we're in it. We're fighting hard. We've got to improve. We've got to get rid of those penalties. But the fact is, we're on our way to the finals if we win more than we lose. And as pointed out by that draw, we should win more than we lose. Now, if we go on a run, then we can finish top 4 and the world's your oyster. Let's go one game at a time, though, because if anything, this year we've been very up and down. We had the 4-win streak, which I think was our most this year. We lose one, we win one. We lose one, we win one. That's not top 4 stuff. If we can go on another run like we did a month ago, I'd be pretty happy. And then we can do something special. And then Danny and I can celebrate afterwards. That would be a lot of fun. Now, Christy Max 02 says hello, and I believe she's watching all the way from the United States of America, if that is my friend that I'm thinking of. So hello, I hope you're well. Jay says, I think we're missing more of a Chris McKenna style player at the moment. You love Chris McKenna, Jay. That's all you think about is jerseys and Chris McKenna. I think that Ramian and Iro could be a potentially damaging center like Chris McKenna. They're hard to come by, though. He was very tall, very broad, could do it on both sides of the ball. You said you were a little bit worried after the Broncos leading by 16 last year. Yep. Same margin. Yep. I was worried about that too, my friend. You think that Jay thinks that the Dolphins have got a hard road trip being in Newcastle tomorrow afternoon. So you're saying that the Dolphins play in Newcastle Sunday and they got to play us. Yeah, that's not an easy way to go. I appreciate that. And we're also going for a 5th straight win at Brookvale. Yep. Storm haven't won at Cronulla since 2017. Jay's going off on the stats. I am going one game at a time, but whoever it was before that said we could go on that streak. Name not important, I think it was. It got me a bit excited. Sharks win 28-16. Happy overall, myself personally. Some more messages here. Danny says, in the words of Tom Berridge's character from Major League, we are winning the whole damn thing. Yeah, I got the reference. Thank you. Got it. Name not important says, I think, Sam, if we make the grand final, you should put money on the bar for us fans. If we make the grand final, not if we win it. Well, the question would be is, what bar? How many fans? How much are you drinking? Because, the income of a podcaster may not be as glamorous as what you think, but I'm open to suggestions. And maybe there are other people involved in the show sponsorship-wise, or they might jump on for an episode. Maybe they could help us with that. So never say never. Troy says there needs to be a Will Kennedy appreciation segment on the podcast every week. Dude, there usually is, to be fair. Usually is. Pretty happy with him tonight, actually. Super important. Safe game. Creative. And he looks fired up. He looks like he's in the zone. He looks like every moment matters. And that's something I really want this team to grasp in the run home. Every moment matters. I sound like an NRL campaign person. Every moment matters. Of course it matters. Every touch matters. Every try matters. Every try, as Malcolm said before, I'm not firing up about a dummy half try he is. Like, every try matters. That 4 points may cost us a position on the ladder. I want them just to be in that moment like Will Kennedy's right now and just have that energy. And he doesn't always get it right, but he's always trying. Shake says, did we sign that big junior Wallaby, or was that just a rumor? I don't think it's done yet, my friend. I think we're looking at him. I think there's a lot of hope there, but I don't think it's a done deal yet, no. So I don't think there's any deals that have been done that you don't know about personally, but we'll see what happens. I do believe that they're going to look within a lot more than looking out, but things can always change anytime. Jay says, I think 2027 Wilton gets picked for Origin. I'll tell you what, Jay, I've always thought he's consistent. I always thought he was solid. But this year, he's really bringing it with his physicality. And, there's not many errors. He's always moving forward. It's a more mature Teague Wilton. And he looks like every hit hurts. And he may get to that level. I'm not sure. I don't know what the second row situation is with New South Wales. But if he does, I wish him all the best. And it'll be a great reward for him. And as we've seen this year, me personally, not a huge Origin guy. I watch it. I love it, but I'm not an Origin guy. But Blake Brayley, the accolades he's gotten have been amazing. Fanua Blake, after playing so long, finally allowed to play rep football. He's in there. He's mixing it with the best. Britton Nickera is in there. As Sharks fans, we were sort of wondering, does he really, is that where he's at? But they've proven he's a good player on his day and he can mix it with the best. So if Teague Wilton reaches those levels, then I'd be happy for him for sure. It can only be positive for the club. Now, Nikki was at the game. I forgot about this. She had the best time at the game up. That's awesome. She goes with her friend, the same friend every game in Brisbane to see the Sharks play. And I'm glad you had a good time. Jay said good win by the Flegg boys today, which keeps them in the mix. Yeah, I posted on the Instagram account, SharkCast Pod, Xavier with a dummy half try, which is awesome. So check that out. That is from the, I think, New South Wales Rugby League Instagram account. And Jay says, I'm not big on Origin either. Prefer club matches. Yep. Shake says if Teague was a Queenslander, he would have played already. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, the exhibition series will be over on Wednesday. One team's going to win. One team's going to lose. 3 games down to the wire. They've each won a game. And we just put our hands together and hope that Blake, AFB, and Britain get through it unscathed, physically and mentally, and they come back home and play for their beloved club. Aussie all the way says, great to see Sione get a hat trick, well deserved. Up. Yeah, it was awesome. He had a great game. He's mostly a really good player. We know he's got a few hiccups in him, but I think tonight proved his worth. There's a lot of commentary around from Sharks fans about should it be Sam, should it be Sione, should it be someone else? I don't know. But tonight, you can look at Sione and go, well, he's the guy. Other weeks, it's not so clear. But let's not forget, Sam has a 3-year deal. He's not going anywhere. He'll have every chance to become a great player. It's just at the moment, it's probably not his time. And that rubs some people the wrong way. Other people completely agree with it. Some are in the middle. But Sione tonight was really terrific. And as someone mentioned early on, that first drop ball, you were like, oh, this isn't a good sign. But that was it. The rest was near perfection. So congrats to Sione, a future Cowboy. And I pointed out we did a show with Gary, I think it was yesterday, did a preview show, and you can watch and listen to that on all the streams. But I mentioned during the week that I was doing Sharks Media, and I've done, we tried to figure out how many interviews I've done over time, and it's probably thousands, right? Like there's heaps, so many, and which is awesome. And I use a recorder, like a hard drive recorder, a mobile recorder to do the interviews. And this week I kind of got it wrong for the first time ever. And it's a long story, which I won't get into now. If you want to get into the specifics of it, go watch yesterday's show with Gary or listen to it and you'll hear it. But essentially I recorded 4 interviews with Jesse Ramian, Kale Iro, Braden Trindle, and with who else? Oh, Jesse Colquhoun. So 4 great interviews. I was having a great time. They were talking a lot more than they would about different subjects. Like Trinder was talking about Netflix, and Ramian was talking about the community work he does, and it was really nice. And then I put Ramian on the spot, and I said, "Hey, the Cowboys signing with your mate Katoa, like, when did you know? Like, were you guys a package deal?" And he said, "No, we weren't a package deal at all. It wasn't until about a week when it became official that we realized we were both going to the same club." And they kind of had a laugh, but they didn't know. He said they genuinely didn't know they were signing for the same club, potentially side by side in the same, positions. And then one day at training, "Hey, what's going on? How's it going with you?" "Oh, I'm going to sign with the Cowboys." And then the other one goes, "Me too." And like, "What? Are you kidding?" "No, we're both signing." And I guess the Cowboys hadn't spoken to them about it. And they were kind of relieved because it wasn't such a daunting trip up there, because they were both good friends. The families are good friends, the wives, the children. And I thought that was quite fascinating. Point is, I've got to get my recordings right, and I'll do that from next week onwards. Sharks win 28-16. Now, Jay's saying Trinidad will get Dally M 5/8 for the year. That's pretty cool. He also says on the Stoney Katoa thing, Stoney hasn't done anything wrong. Fitzy's happy with how he's developing for the club. There you go. That's from the presser. Awesome. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And we do have Adam Barnes just joined the stream. So hopefully Barnes sold a lot of merch out at Suncorp. We told everyone to head up there, and it looked like from the socials they were doing a great trade. So always good when the Sharks win and the merch fans there. Always means a few extra bucks for the club, and a lot of effort goes into getting that kind of thing happening. Like, they drive the truck up there, they got to pack a truck, they got to do all. It's a big procedure. So I'm sure that they were happy with the turnout, and I'm sure the fans were happy that you guys were up there, Barnes. It's a good job there, my friend. Sharks win 28-16, up to 5th place. We got the Dolphins next week. We're continuing on a path. It's not an easy path. It's a somewhat frustrating one, but there's a lot of positive stuff amongst the negative. There's a lot of fixables. We just got to fix them, and we've got to start with those penalties, losing the penalty count 10-5. Wesley says, my weekend will be complete if Para roll Manly tomorrow. Fair enough. I understand that. From a Sharks point of view, it might be something else, but I understand that. You know what I got to remember? I got to remember to put in my tips for the Dyson Logistics footy tipping comp. They've got a footy tipping comp. It's free, and there's hundreds of people in it, and I'm like coming, 25th or something. But I always forget to do the Thursday night, and then you don't get a home and away. You just don't get anything. And I'm continually forgetting the Thursday night. All I got to do is set a reminder on my phone. I haven't. But I just keep forgetting, man. So that's what's going on in my world. Sharks win. Sharks win. The Sharks win. How good is that? Barnesy said the merch team killed it tonight. That is awesome news. Congratulations. Shark Cage Man has joined as well. Hello. Jay says, any word on Clinton being on again? Yeah, Clinton's going to come on. We got to work it out. There's just a few things holding us back, and nothing personal, nothing bad. We talk, we love each other. It's all good. He's a SharkCast guy. Just timing and that kind of stuff. So he'll be on soon enough. Don't worry about that. He'll be a special guest, and we're always working on ways to make this show bigger and brighter, and certainly Clinton fits into that mold. Wes says, from a ladder perspective, I'm hoping for the loss. You see everything, don't you? Let's go there. Let's have a look. So from a ladder point of view, Manly are on 22. Yeah, gotcha. All right, we need the Eels to win. And probably, well, who do you want out of the Dolphins and Newcastle? That's a bit of a lose-lose for us. Maybe we want to draw? No. Anyway, I don't want to start worrying about the ladder. I appreciate you are, Wesley. You can do it for me. Tim says, do I ever tip against the Sharks? Is that what that question is? Not often. Not often. I think that I'm not a person that just goes Sharks 100% of the time, but I'm also not that person either. So more often than not, I'm tipping the Sharks. Yes. So that means no, I don't tip against them. If it came down to winning a stack of money and it was the last game and it was us in a game I didn't think we were going to win, that's a different story, right? But I rarely would tip against Cronulla in this day and age, because I think that in most games we should be competitive. Against the Roosters, we were competitive and we didn't win, We should be competitive in most games. We were competitive against the Panthers. I don't usually tip against them. Okay. Stephen said I felt Peru was more valuable at dummy half than Beryl. Yeah, absolutely. Cam pushing his passes. He's always got one or two bad decisions in him. I thought we missed Rudolph's big burst tonight. I understand the Cam thing. There were a few now I think about it. I didn't think overall he was terrible. Maybe he needs to pass the ball less. David, I might have left the link and then the internet went down. We had a few hiccups with the internet. That's it there. I'm going to wind up pretty soon, but if you want to jump on, please feel free and we'll try and get you on. Otherwise, you can wait till we beat the Dolphins next week. It's up to you, brother. Stephen says, I'll reserve my harsh judgment on tonight's performance. Let's see what they do next week. That's interesting. That's real interesting. I want to hear your harsh judgment. It's all good. I want to hear everyone's point of view. They could have played a lot better tonight, but they dominated the game. They just gave it back to them with like 10 to go, and that's never a good thing, right? I thought the back five were awesome. I really did. So the boss of Dyson Logistics, KD Twang, the great Kane Dyson, says, set an alarm. Yeah, I'm going to have to, dude. I'm going to have to. He said, disappointed Calhoun and Hazelton are showing up AFB this year. I thought he was the missing piece. He just lacks intent. I'll give you this, Kano. He's not the AFB of the Warriors or Manly. But I still think he's a good recruit. I still think he does a good job. I still want him in my team. He's just not how we remember him, right? I don't know. I think he's very solid. Now, should you be giving $1 million a year to someone who's very solid? That's a different story. But I see what you're saying. Calhoun is our best prop. Benny McGregor has joined from Montenegro. How good is winning? That's his catchphrase. Hope you're doing well over there. Let me know what's going on. Stephen does say that too often we just keep teams in matches, which is fair enough. This is a fascinating question. 1% rock and roll. Stephen says, as a fan of the boss, do you find, like me, any similarity in the music of Gang of Youths? Actually, I do. I absolutely do. Particularly, I'm thinking like the Born to Run album kind of thing with the big words and the long songs and the drama. And that's why I have a soft spot for Gang of Youths, absolutely. And I wouldn't say I'm someone who is immersed in their music, but what I've heard is really good. They seem like they're doing it for the right reasons. And I certainly have liked what I've heard. I probably need to, if you want to send me some stuff my way, Stephen, I need to hear more. But I've never seen them live, so I'd like to change that. But yeah, I think it was the debut album maybe, or the first big album they had. And it was like that, I don't know how many they've had, to be honest, but that Masterpiece one. And I'd listened to it for, a week quite regularly, and I really liked it. So I didn't like it all, but I liked the parts that sound like the boss, basically. And yeah, absolutely. David said we took the foot off the pedal for a period. Yep, fair enough. Shake says if we played AFB for 70 minutes in a game like the Warriors, his stats would be better, to be fair. So yeah, the Warriors, he was playing a lot bigger minutes. It's a good point. I'm not unhappy with AFB. I'm really not. I think that he's just not the AFB we remember, and I don't know if that's fair or unfair, but I certainly wouldn't want to mess with the guy. Like, he's still got the meanness in him, but I think he's just more in classic prop mode, get the meters, get the quick, play the ball, defend as best you can, maybe an offload, get off the field, come back. I think he's in a bit of a routine. Now, if that routine isn't working, then that's a different story, but I think he gives us good go forward. Like, it's not often you see him get dominated. He may not be doing, as Shake says, the big stat numbers, but I don't know if he gets dominated. I mean, the Roosters game, we were all dominated, so maybe he was in that one. But I'm definitely benefit of the doubt for now and backing him in for the moment, for sure. Thank you, Shake. On that subject, Jay says, I think people are a bit harsh on AFB. Teams have worked out if we keep him quiet, it goes a long way to causing the Sharks issues this season. And I think the key there is other guys need to step up, whether it's Colquhoun, whether it's McInnes, whether it's, when Toby's back, just the middle forwards, Hazelton. We got enough middles that are good to get the job done. We saw it tonight mostly, like the forwards were good, but yeah, I just don't think AFB can do it on his own. Whereas there was probably a time when he could have. I think maybe that's, maybe what Kane's hinting at, and there was a time when he could have done the job on his own. But I don't know if that's a thing anymore, just out of, the way the world works. Stephen says, have a good night. Looking forward to listening to it all. Wanted to get on tonight, but clash with the kids' bedtime. I hear that, brother. Keep up the great work. Thank you, sir. We will turn this into an audio podcast, and I probably won't have time to make it all nice and nice. I'll try and cut out the first bit where there was no internet. But appreciate you, Stephen. Hope you're well. You're great human, and I really appreciate you being on our side. Have a great night. And we will wrap it up. So Sharks win 28-16. We got the Dolphins next week. We'll see if Jesse Ramian is on any Judiciary Watch tomorrow, but other than that, Hohepa came back on, so he looks like his injury wasn't too bad. I think we might have gotten out of the game pretty good, and we certainly gave time to guys like Tugu Haitapua, Hohepa Puru, even to an extent Beryl got a bit of time. So there's a bit of depth there, getting their numbers in, their repetitions in, and if you need them later in the year, that'll be very, very handy, that's for sure. Wesley said AFB sucks in defenders. That sometimes gets forgotten. Absolutely. Thank you very much. All right, Sharks win 28-16. We rule the world for another day. And even if we lose, we still rule the world. Tonight's been a bit of a scattered show. I apologize. Just, it's everything's cool, but it's just, I'm going to sleep well tonight. That's for sure. I didn't even really do my hair tonight or anything. And when I say do my hair, I'm not someone that has product or anything, obviously. It was go time, baby. Sharks win. You guys and girls are awesome. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. It all helps. If you are on the bus and there's a Sharks fan next to you in a hoodie, say, hey, you listen to SharkCast, you should listen to them. If you are at school in 2 weeks' time after the holidays and you see that someone in your class has a Sharks pencil case, say, hey, do you listen to SharkCast? It's kind of good. The guy doesn't swear much, but he's kind of good. He's good, the show's good. And if you work with a colleague that's into Cronulla, if your family members like Cronulla, if your neighbor likes Cronulla, the whole thing, spread the word. It's the best way you can help us out. And the other things you can do online is you can like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff that you always hear. It actually does help. So appreciate you all. Sorry for the end of show spruik, but that's just kind of how we have to do things. Shake says, win, lose, first or last, Sharks all day. And I agree. This is why I come on. Win, lose, or draw, baby. It's time to go. And this is what we do. Wesley says there's not many fans in Japan, but I'm working on it. You'd be surprised. Our numbers in Japan aren't too bad. You'd be surprised. I don't have a way to connect you all necessarily. Maybe there is a way to connect you all. I'll have to think about that. Appreciate you, Wesley, all the way over in Japan. That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Sharks win. Everything's okay for another week. Up, Cronulla. We will talk to you all soon. We may as well go out with the song. We can all sing along if you like. Let's do it. We'll talk to you soon. We'll probably be next on with Kieran on Monday. So that's one to look forward to. We'll talk to you again soon. Again, appreciate all the help, all the support, all the love, even the criticism. It's all cool. And especially Danny and a few people at the start of the show who helped me get through the little hiccup of the internet stuff. Up, Cronulla. Let's go.
Sharks forever. Go out and play without fear. Now's the time to see good football.